Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
I just watched it yesterday, so it's not like it's still pretty fresh on the mind.
It's very fresh. Yeah.
Very fresh, very fresh. Less than a day old. And yeah, man, I don't know how you felt. I'll kind of jump right in with my grade because I don't think I don't want to waste any more time here. Yeah, man, on a grade scale of 0 to 10, this was like a 5.9 to 6.1, like somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's some elements of it were good. I thought that overall, it's very clear what the direction is. Build up the hype to the championship game, MLS Cup Final. And we all know what happened. In the game itself, Red Bull's getting shell shocked, first 20 minutes, and then kind of, Galaxy rode that out. But I don't know, man. The build of the game, outside of them really building up the impact negatively that losing Puig created for the Galaxy, like outside of that, they hammered on that quite a bit. I don't know, bro. Like there's still so much hype you could build up for how epic the MLS Cup Final is or should be. It's still the championship game of a major American sports league. And I feel like Onside just slightly lost sight of that. I don't know. Like it's still a big deal in itself. It's not the Super Bowl, right? But it's still a pretty big deal. I just, part of me was hoping they would do a little bit more with like creating the atmosphere for the game, but for maybe the fans' perspective. The storylines behind the scenes with Puig and Red Bulls being so pragmatic, made them kind of seem like the noisy neighbors on the block versus the one try and shoot champion. Like I get that, but man, there's just a lot more that could have been done. It felt a little bit lacking from my perspective, but overall, man, it did put a bow on the series. 8 episodes, solid production value all the way throughout the series. All in all, man, I can't complain because the effort was there to an extent. Storytelling wasn't all that great, but at least they gave us something this season. So for that, I am grateful and hope they do it again. Hope they run it back for the 2025 season.
Yeah, I think episode 8 Legacy, by the way, that was the title of the episode. But no, yeah, I think if anything, if I was more focused on anything, like maybe the times when I put my phone down was probably watch like the Riqui Puig story, like seeing his road to recovery, what was going on through his head throughout all that. I think that was really cool. But obviously, this episode wasn't supposed to be about Riqui Puig's recovery from an ACL tear. It was supposed to be about LA Galaxy versus Red Bull New York. It was supposed to be about two massive sports markets, right, going against each other. I mean, literally at the same time. Maybe it finished earlier, but the Dodgers beat the Yankees 4-1 in the World Series. Like all of that was going on. Like even they made a little, which is funny because you got the Jersey kid talking about, oh yeah, I was at the World Series Game 5. Had to watch the Yankees just blow it in the final innings. Like things like that. But like,
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to point out the Yankees lost in the World Series. That's really the whole point of this rant.
Tolkien brought it up during the episode too. It was kind of, I get it. Some of those details added fuel to the fire, but there's a lot more fire left to be desired.
Yeah, and it was also like you can hear like John Tolkien like, oh, okay, Puig is not there, so that's great. And you just see Forsberg where like, nah, I kind of wanted him to play.
You want an epic final. And honestly, bro,
and that's
like
what Forsberg was saying.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not want that as a competitor? But bro, with that said, put that aside. I do understand the John Tolkien argument. Like, bro, it's gonna be easier. And what do I care most about at the end of the day? Regardless of the degree of that, is just winning MLS Cup. Now, whether I feel like I truly deserved it at the end of the game or not, only time will tell. But I want to lift that baby up. So They're both right, bro. They're both right. You want to play against the best to say you beat the best, you rightfully earned that, but at the same time, bro, I'm trying to win that shit.
That's true, and I think for John Tolkien's perspective as well, like, because this it does get brought up, and I mean it does eventually happen. If you guys don't know, John Tolkien plays in Germany now. I think on the cusp of relegation. I think because he's in Kiel, right, hosting Kiel.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're in the relegation. I could I
I
literally
think
just looked.
I think so. I think he's like right on the edge of the line. I can't remember exactly how many points they had last time I checked, but yeah.
But yeah, so but the whole John Tolkien having European aspirations, and yeah, maybe he just wants to finally bring the first MLS Cup to the Red Bull, and then so he can have his send off as very. It seemed very likely, and I mean even Forsberg was talking about like, yeah, I think he just wants to see what it's like over there in Europe, and I mean if you're John Tolkien, which I think. I don't know where he's at as far as with Mauricio Pochettino's vision with the team, but obviously a guy that has gone called up a few times with the U.S. men's national team. Is he a guy that could be right now maybe on the outside, but can maybe with a push in Europe, can he put himself into that list of fringe players? And let's be honest, the fullback position isn't necessarily the deepest that we have right now, but yeah, so I totally get that part, that aspect of it, but I just wish John Tolkien would at one point shut up about it. The whole, oh yeah, Puig is out. I think we got a good shot, guys. Like I mean, like he mentioned it a few times, like in that little segment where they're all, I guess, doing
Yeah,
treatment.
I get it, but like, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's like a reminder. Like this is an opportunity we're never gonna fucking get again. Let's go out there and take it. Like, that's kind of how I see it a little bit. It's like it's just that reminder. I think he's also probably just reminding himself. I think Tolkien already kind of knew this might have been his last year in MLS.
Yeah.
No, like, didn't you get those vibes?
No, yeah, and I think that's he kept talking about it. I mean, when they went to go to the EA Sports FC, whatever that event was, but they went to that
Hmm.
thing. Obviously there was. I love how they put Ronaldinho two-time best player of the world, winner. There was actually a lot of interesting names that was at that party, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Alexi Guerrero from the Cooligans was hosting that thing. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So that just tells me that you could have invited the Cooligans to that New York episode. That's all I got from that was my argument on that one.
Maybe
Um,
that day, bro. Maybe that day they weren't available. We'll never know.
yeah. But I think it was cool like to see him doing that. And you hear him like, he was in the car with his girlfriend talking about like, you know, I think he said Paris FC. I could be wrong, but I heard him say Paris FC.
I don't remember.
I don't know what were the clubs he was talking to at the time, but you could tell that he was kind of like, yeah, I think. He's like, if I want a fair shot, if I want a shot with the U.S. men's national team, especially once again, everyone talks about how 2026 World Cup, like we're in the cusp of it. You know, he's got to go abroad and give him his best chance at making that final roster.
Yeah, and that's a whole different discussion in terms of like Tolkien, because like you mentioned before, right? He's with Holstein Kiel, and I yeah, they're so as the margins are thin. It's like 4 points when I looked right now. They are in last, but the margins are thin. So like there's still an outsider's chance they could turn it around and try it and avoid relegation, but I doubt it. So he might be moving on again during a World Cup year. I kind of hope he gets a look because, frankly, bro, nothing against Jedi. I mean, not like he would ever start over Jedi, but there's just so many issues I have with the mentality of this current team that I really wouldn't mind a massive shift in call-ups for the next round of matches because something's got to change. But putting that aside, bro, I think fixating on Tolkien for this series as the Jersey boy, right? The homegrown who wanted to lift a trophy before he left to the next chapter of his career. It's a great selection in terms of like plot that you want to build on. And they did a pretty good job of it. But again, there were so many stories they were trying to tell in this series, episode by episode. You can only ever be so invested in any one of them. So, for me in this whole Onside series, I like the Tolkien story. I thought he was, a lot of people think he's probably like a douche or whatever, but I don't know, bro. Like I liked having guys like that on my team always, like guys who have the perfect mix of uh, douchery and dog. The perfect mix. Like usually that guy is like so confident that they don't shy away from the spotlight. It's never too big for them. And the other side, the dog side is like they're not divas on the field. They're going to go out there and they're going to work, put the shift in. Like perfect combo of those two, lethal opponent, or sorry, lethal teammate.
Yeah,
So
and I
yeah,
think
man,
we talk about guys with chip on their shoulders, and I mean, we praise Diego Luna because of him kind of having that mentality. And I
perfect
think,
example.
you know, if I can, it kind of in a sense, I would much rather have a room full of Diego Lunas and John Tolkins than whatever the hell this whatever that was in Nations League. But we'll see what happens. Allegedly, we're gonna see the best possible U.S. men's national team for Gold Cup.
Bro,
Don't know what
we're
that means.
legit fourth in this confederation. I want to let that sink in. We're legit fourth.
Yeah,
Crazy. Tolkien
as it showed in
should
the
have a
drawing.
shot, bro. MLS players in general should have a shot at this because we're at that point. We're at that point.
No, yeah, wholeheartedly. But yeah, as far as like the LA Galaxy story, I think it was once again the whole this is our history. We're the best team in MLS. It's what we want to be that next iteration of Galaxy players that lift the MLS Cup. We have Greg Vanney who played for the Galaxy, has been to the final, never won the cup as a player. Can he rewrite his story as being the coach that, brings them back to the MLS Cup final and finally wins another one? The I mean, at this point, they have the record. There's no one's catching up to the record unless
Not anytime soon, but
nine
sure.
times
Yeah.
soon. I mean, it's not like they have a lot. I'm just saying that like right now they've been. I mean, unless DC United can somehow wake the fuck up, I just don't see. I don't see anybody else that can catch up to them right now, at least. Because I mean, as far as trophy counts, I think DC United is up there. But
Yeah. I mean, Galaxy have won 20% of Major League Soccer's league titles. So it like eventually it'll even itself out, right? We're a very young league. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, like that side of the storytelling for this episode was just not a rehash, but like a catch up on what happened after we that first episode, like we just caught up with them at the end of the season and we're getting the big storyline. That's why they didn't really harp on anything else because everything else we already had that information. The big storyline was Riqui Puig and his injury. Still a baller ass assist though. I give Ricky a lot of credit. You know what tripped me up about that last bit when they had one MLS Cup and they were getting Ricky's thoughts and he said what did he say? He said this of all the trophies he's won, he's definitely going to remember that one or something along those lines.
mhm.
Um, I thought that was so interesting because like the hater in me originally thought, well, yeah, I mean, you didn't play in like any of the other ones. All the Barcelona trophies, you were just along for the ride, um, like bro, like you know what player has probably won more trophies in Europe than almost any other player, but you probably wouldn't be able to name him is Maxwell.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about the old Barca, old PSG left back?
Yeah, I mean, Maxwell. I think he goes. Maxwell's along the list of guys that Edward had like a brief obsession with. As far as like you could throw Boyan into that conversation and
Yeah.
Delafeu.
Yeah,
Delafeu. Just
but those guys like I'm telling you, like I think it was like Danny Alves had like the most trophies by an individual player for like all club trophies considered, and the only one close to him was Maxwell. Like it was so wild, and I'm like his Barca titles were actually like again he was there during a good era, but he was also there during a very good era for PSG, at least domestically. Like they were
mhm.
winning titles and domestic cups every year. So
Yeah, because I mean,
anyway.
for Dani Alves, I mean, he left. Well, he left Barcelona, went to Juventus, right? And I
Yeah.
mean, that was the time when Juventus was just winning Serie A like almost every
They
year. It
were
was
going
like
to
a given.
Champions League finals. Like, yeah, bro, it was a good era for Juve. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, I digress. I say that because, I mean, no disrespect to Puig, but that's the reality, bro. He was there for, along the ride for Barca's where he was legitimately the guy for the LA Galaxy, and that is why it's going to mean a lot to him moving forward. It's a shame though, as it's because it'll always be the trophy that he won without being on the pitch technically. Um, I think he's going to be itching to actually play in an MLS Cup final from here on out. Like you have to, bro. There's no way you don't feel that way. So I don't know. We'll see. But look how impactful he really was because we talk about it on Wake Up MLS all the time.
Yeah, you yelled at me
Galaxy's
about
still
that.
winless, bro.
You yelled at me about it.
I yelled at everybody that day about it. Y'all needed to hear that shit. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So yeah, man. The tears he was shedding definitely stuck. It's probably sting a little bit harder to any LA Galaxy fans who are tuning into Onside after the start of the 2025 season.
As far as your playing career in the collegiate rankings, have you ever seen like an injury like that, like for like a player that have you ever seen anything close to that for yourself?
Me, I mean, it's kind of, um, I mean, like a torn ACL. Is that what you're saying?
Or I mean, like I
A
guess like
season-ending injury?
a season-ending injury just in general.
Yeah, I've had one of those. It ended up being more of a career one because it was just hard to rehab after that. But I mean that it's like a tale as old as time, you know? Like there's
Mhm.
just so many players. What's crazy is that I've grown up in a region in Dallas where bro, there's so much talent that doesn't make it to the next level because of injury. It's crazy or other stupid shit. But um in the college ranks, not like in person. You heard about a couple here and there that you were like, damn, dude, that's going to shift the entire trajectory of that guy's career. But thankfully, never really experienced it outside of like my own injury, which I could never fully rehab from. But like nothing in that moment, you're like, damn, like that's his season. That's maybe his career over. Thankfully, knock on wood. Hopefully, I won't ever have to see that shit. To be honest.
Yeah, I can only imagine how deflating it'd be, but I also thought like no one I don't think anybody really talked about because I think it kind of went right by through. But Painsil, man, that guy's got some talent.
Bro, the music career threw me off. I'm not even gonna lie.
Look,
It's just like you never know who, like sometimes you hear about
I
other
saw
guys in
the
Europe.
studio when he shows the studio. I was like, "Oh God, he's not one of those." One of those athletes that think they could be like a musician, and then you hear his music and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he actually is pretty good." So
Yeah, I don't know if Hesse would be in that category or not. I didn't really listen to Hesse's rap music or not, but
I have.
is it good?
I think it's more so the people that he's collaborating with.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'd throw it up there, all of that kind of in that category, bro. Another one's like on Barca's side, and I never heard any of it because, frankly, I just don't see him at all being a rapper. But you remember the backup keeper, Jose Pinto?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah, bro.
remember that he does have a rap career. And
Yeah,
then
I
I
was like,
I,
I don't
I
know.
even downloaded Sergio Ramos' salsa song that he made. So,
Yeah, bro. I was like, I don't need to laugh at my own keeper. I'm cool. I might go now listen to it years later, but yeah, man, just that whole
look, it's not
category,
as bad as Cristiano Ronaldo when he had that I don't know what it was, but I just know it
Uh,
was torture. So
yeah, I don't know. Cristiano, like listening to, imagining Cristiano rapping is like imagining older Will Smith trying to get back into rapping. I'm just like,
oh, you didn't like it from the CONCACAF Nations League final?
nah, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm all right.
I
It's
was
not for
like, I
me.
don't I don't think I need to hear Get Jiggy with it anymore,
Yeah,
especially.
and if I do, I'll listen to the OG one. I don't need like a rehashed version by you 30 years later. I'm good.
Also,
I'm
yeah, I don't
good.
know. With all the things that Will Smith has gone through now lately, I don't know if I want to hear him singing "Get Jiggy with It." So,
I'm just saying, like, I'm okay with the classics, and again, this is strictly for those people, but like to see footballers have like some of these talents that you don't really know about, or maybe they don't even widely publicize, because I've never heard a Galaxy fan talk about Painter's music, but that's pretty dope, bro. I did not know that. And Galaxy fans, if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Onside, man. The last episode, you get a little peek behind the mind of Joseph Paintsil. Pretty
yeah,
cool
I
dude.
initially thought it was gonna be bad because I was like, "Oh my God, he's got his own studio."
We're just
And
trained to think that way because, like, I don't know, bro. There's too many bad examples out there,
I mean, like just athletes in general that like go try to go into music. I mean, Jesus Christ, if I have to hear that stupid Lamelo Leangelo Ball song again,
People love that song, though. Isn't that
weaker.
crazy?
It's
I guess, bro. I don't know.
it's
I had
a
to
it's a
ask.
wannabe Lil Wayne song. Like that's what it
I
is.
don't know, but I had to ask my wife. Like, I was like, "What song is that?" And then she like played it for me. I was like, I think I might have heard it. I don't know. I'm honestly such an unk or a boomer, whatever term you want to use, when it comes to like new music today. Like, I'm stuck in my old ways.
That's luckily I have Spotify who gives me daily discoveries. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I have that too, bro. But I'm honestly, bro, like old music. If not, I'm like podcasts and
Yeah,
audiobooks and
I'm
shit.
usually on the same pages there as well. And at my job, it's very much just a lot of Mexican music, which,
Respect, respect.
which I'm not against. Obviously, I grew up on it, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just I'm just like I feel like I'm like it must be time to clean.
That bro, that's exact. I was about to say exact same thing, bro. It's perfect for work because that was straight up cleaning music back in the day.
You hear that it's Saturday morning, you hear that blaring, and you're just like,
Fuck, I gotta go vacuum, bro.
mom's about to come out and come in and start waking me up.
I gotta go vacuum, son of a bitch.
Yard's not gonna cut itself. So.
Yeah, I remember that
No, but
shit.
yeah, I think as far as an episode goes, also I just so you guys want to hear the summary, I wish the summary pisses me off, by the way. With Messi eliminated, it's anyone's MLS Cup. Riqui Puig injury stuns the LA Galaxy as they get set to battle the New York Red Bulls for the title. Like Apple TV, just that was just to me that's like the biggest just fuck you. We're like
Just hop off the shaft, bro, for 2 seconds. That's all I'm saying. They made it seem like Messi got eliminated right before the final and the biggest upset ever, bro. Honestly, it was anybody's grabs clearly the moment playoffs started because not even Messi could get by his first round of games.
yeah, I was as soon as I read it, I was like, they're not even in the episode, and you find a way. You just, I mean, David Beckham was technically on it, but it's also because he played for the LA
Yeah,
Galaxy.
yeah, bro. MLS and Apple TV have this. They're just constantly pitching wood and or a hardcore tent for Messi. It's like that. It's the point of being awkward now, where it's like, guys, can we just like so that other leagues can take us seriously, other fans can take us seriously? Can we just not mention Messi in every piece of marketing that goes out? Like, just give us a chance, man. Just I don't know.
I don't even want to drink a Michelob Ultra now.
Who is that guy?